Okay, so today we're going to learn about function tables, and they're specifically called linear function tables because, as you'll see, when we take our ordered pairs, x, y ordered pairs, and graph them, we are going to get, they're all going to fall in line. So today we're going to practice some basic algebra math, and we're also going to practice our graphing skills, okay? So let's get started. Now, we're going to be working with what are called function tables, everyone. So here's the thing about function tables. Function tables have two parts. The input, which we typically use x, but not necessarily. We could use other letters. We could use other variables. We have inputs and we have outputs. Okay? And the equation we're going to be using is called a function form equation. And later on, we're going to be referring to it as slope-intercept form. Okay? So that's going to become something that we're going to be using a lot. So let's look at this equation. We have the y. So y represents what? Output. So let's label that. This is our output. Okay? And it also has x. That's going to be our input. And so this is called a function. A function works kind of like using a vending machine. Okay? Take one of these. Okay. So a function works something like a vending machine in that you give it an input, your cash. You perform something, you usually have to press like A1, B7, something like that, right? So that's doing the actual math. And then you get an output, the candy, the chips, whatever you're buying with your cash. So that's what this is. You have an input, it gives you an output after you do a little math. So this is the result. This is the result. Okay? And so let's practice our graphing. Do you guys remember graphing on a coordinate plane with ordered pairs? X, Y ordered pairs. So let me just remind you about a few things. We have 4 quadrants, 4 regions, right? And each one has certain sign values, positives, negatives. So for example, this is quadrant 1. In quadrant 1, the first number, the x value is positive, and the y value is positive. Remember that? So everything in here is positive for x and positive for y. If I go to the left, counterclockwise, then we're in quadrant 2. Quadrant 2, all the x values are negative. All the y values are positive. So all the numbers here are negative for x, positive for y. If I go down, this is quadrant 3. And everything here for both of them are negative. So negative for x, negative for y. Okay? And then we only have one combination left for quadrant 4. This is quadrant 4, guys. Positive and negative. So you can already tell, okay, I have negative, negative. So one of the points is going to be here, and the rest are positive, negative. So they're going to be up here somewhere. Okay? Now, let's plot those points. -3, -1. So let's start. We always start at the origin, at the 0. And am I going to go right or left if it's -3? Left. So I go 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3, and 1 down. And as you can see, negative, negative. Okay? Then we have 0, 2. 0 for x means you don't go right or left. You stay put. You stay at 0. And then 2 for y means you go up 2. So you stay here, but you go up 2. There's my second point. Then I have 1, 3. So 1, 3 means you go 1 to the right, 3 up. 1, 2, 3. And what are you noticing about those 3 points? They're in a line. They're in line. And so these 3 points are part of an infinite number of dot points that, when connected, form this line. So this equation is tied with that line. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Um, so next we're going to learn how we got those points. So this is our function, y equals x plus 2. So the rule, if I read this over, y equals x plus 2. So it's telling me to get y, take x and add 2. That's the rule. Y is x plus 2. So let's go ahead and make a table. So when I hear function table, this is actually what I think of. We have our input, which is x. We have our rule, y equals x plus 2. And then we have our output, which is y. Okay? And they already gave us, they'll usually tell us what x values to use. These are my x coordinates. So I'm going to use negative 3, 0, 1, and 3. Negative 3, 0, 1, 3. Okay. And let me just make some rows, 4 of them. Now we already know what the y value should be, bless you. But we're going to just go ahead and follow the rule. The rule again says take x and add 2. Whatever x is, add 2. So I'm going to put parentheses where x should go. Okay. I'm just following the rule. Parentheses in place of x and then add 2. So these are the x values. These are my inputs. I input negative 3. I input 0. I input 1. I input 3. Okay? And then you just do the math. Okay? We do the math. Julian, what are you doing? Exactly. Come on, do this. Huh? You did this already? What did we get for y then? Tell me. Yeah, so tell me what's the answer. Okay, negative 3 plus 2, guys. Then 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. Which are the values that are here? Okay? So this is how we get those numbers. All right? So that's how the table was completed. And that's a big chunk of what we're going to be doing, is that you'll be given some x values. You have to figure out the output y values. Okay? So if you're done with that, you're done with the table, go on to number 2, and I'd like you to graph those points. Negative 4, negative 2, 0, 0, 2, 1, and 4, 2. Okay? Remembering our 4 quadrants. If this helps you with knowing where to graph, so again, my first point is negative, negative. It's going to be down here somewhere. Our next point, 0, 0. It's going to be right in the middle at that origin. And then the last 2 should be up here, positive, positive. Okay? So practice graph. Okay. And 4. All right, let's see here. So this is saying 1/2 times negative 4. Of is another way to say multiplying, right? So what's half of negative 4? Negative 2. Lo and behold, we should get negative 2. What's half of 0? 0. And lo and behold, we should get 0. What's half of 2? And we should get 1. And again, half of positive 4 is 2. And that's what we should get. Okay. Any questions? All right. Let's go over to the back page and we'll do the last 3. Okay. So flip it over. And you'll see it's a little different. Okay. So look at the 3 examples we have. What are we noticing about these function tables? There's no y. We don't have our outputs. We have to figure out what they are. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to build a table. We're going to look at the rule. And then we're going to get the outputs. So let's do it. So let's make a column for our outputs x. The rule. Here's our rule. What is the rule asking us to do? Subtract 1 from x. So I'm going to do, well, let's put in our input values. -3, -1, 0, 3. Okay? Okay, here we go. So let's see. The rule says take x, take whatever x is, take away 1. So x is going to go here, -1. X is going to go here, take away 1. Okay? So what's going to be our first x? -3. So now we got to think about what this means. I always think of money. Owing or having money. Say I owe $3, -3, and I borrow another dollar. How much do I owe now? So that's -4. I'll do the same thing here. -1 minus 1. I owe $1 and then I say, hey, can I borrow another dollar? -2. I don't owe any money, but I borrow $1. How much do I owe one? I have $3, but my friend says, hey, you still owe me $1. So how much do I have now? $2. So now I have my values. -4, -2, -1, and 2. Okay? Let's plot these points. Let's see, -3, -4. So I go 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3, and 4 down. There's my first point. -1, -2. 1 to the left, 2 down. Plot those points. 0, -1. 0 for the x value says stay put, but then go down 1. Right there. And then 3, 2. 3 to the right, 2 up. Right there. So remember when you were plotting points last year like this? We're coming back to it. Okay? Move this up. We'll work on the next function table in a little bit. Ready to do it? Here we go. We have our inputs, which are -4, -2, 0, 2. What does the rule tell us to do this time? Negative 1/2 x plus 4. I'm going to take negative 1/2 and multiply it by x, then add 4. So let's write that down. Okay. Now, let's see here. This is telling me negative 1/2 times whatever x is plus 4. Okay. So let's plug in our x values. Negative 4, negative 2, 0, and 2. They made it easy on us by picking only even numbers. Okay, go ahead and do that. And let's do the math. So keep in mind we're multiplying a negative times a negative, so that's going to be positive. What's half of 4? 2. So multiplying, I get 2, and then the plus 4. And then 2 plus 4 is 6. Let's try this again. Negative times negative, that means it's positive. And what's half of 2? 1, then plus 4. What's half of 0? So this is 0 plus 4. And then we have a negative times a positive. So that's going to be negative, and half of 2 is 1, and then plus 4. Negative 1 plus 4 is, oh, I'm sorry, this is 4. Okay, 0 plus 4 is 4. So we have these values now. 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay, let's go ahead and plot those points. Negative 4, 6. So we want where it's negative and then positive. So that's up here. So 4 to the left and 6 up. We got a problem here, don't we? This only goes up to 5. So hopefully we can do this line with 3 points, and we should be able to. So we'll skip that one, go to the next one. 2 to the left, 5 up here. And then we do 0, 4. That means you don't go right or left, you stay there, but you go up 4. Right there. And then our last point is 2, 3. 2 to the right and 3 up. And lo and behold, yes, it's only 3 points, but those 3 points are in line, so I'm pretty confident. I'm absolutely confident, in fact, this is our line. Okay. Okay. So I'd like you to try number 5 on your own. We'll set it up. You'll finish it and graph it, okay? Let's look at our rule. The rule says y is 2 times whatever x is, then you take away 4. Okay, 2 times whatever x is, then you subtract 4. So let's go ahead and make our and we're doing 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay? And it's 2 times x minus 4. 2 times x minus 4 on all of them. go ahead and multiply by 2, then take away 4 for each of these. Get your point, write those here, and then make the line. Okay. After that, the assignment is an IXL, so you can go to Schoology and click on the link for the IXL. Okay, work on this. Graph a line. All right, so hopefully this is what you got for your numbers. And then you would plot that. And those are the points you would get for your line.